Stereotype of sort of rugby players is definitely these sort of big brutes that just like to smash into people and drink loads of alcohol, and that's really it. I think that stereotype has sort of gone away over the last few years. People are just learning more and more about mental health and sort of what it means to have a good mental health, what it means to have a bad mental health, what you can do to help, things like that. People are becoming more aware of that. So I think that stereotype has definitely gone away. There is always going to be that little bit there.
As I take you on this journey, I delve into the world of rugby and mental health, uncovering the untold stories of two rugby players who face their own demons whilst pursuing their passion for the game. Join me as I shine a light on the profound bond between the mind and the game we love. Together, we'll explore the joyful highs and the challenging lows that come with this powerful connection.
I'm Cameron Falcus, 24, been playing rugby for 10 years now, since high school, and my mental health journey with rugby sort of started when I started rugby at university. So got into rugby at university in my third year, so quite late. I hadn't played for a few years, and my housemate Harry Forbes, who was the pitch captain at the time, he said I should try out. I knew some people that were already there anyway. And I think that's really when I started kind of paying attention to sort of mental health and sort of its relationship with rugby. I'd say it's probably the latter part, as I was leaving uni rugby, not really having that thing to go to every week. You know, I'd just been through a breakup as well. So yeah, it was very low then, because not only are you leaving this team and people are sort of going back to their homes across the UK, you know, also dealing with that breakup, and I think that was the struggle, probably the biggest struggle, yeah. So that sort of lowest point, you know, you feel very alone. I was drinking quite a lot. You know, having those sort of suicidal thoughts is definitely something that did arise. I sort of got through it with the help of having some really fantastic mates who sort of recognised that I was feeling low and decided to sort of step in and help. So, you know, that sort of ties in, because obviously I met them through rugby. You know, these are people that had known for many, many years at that point.
I spoke to Ollie Ingle, a close friend of Cameron's, to get a deeper dive of what he was like whilst he was struggling.
So my name is Ollie. I'm 25 years old. I've been playing rugby for I think I started playing when I was like 13, 14. And I've known Cam now for almost 7 years. It's like one of those like telltale signs. It was kind of a bit mopey around the house, never leave his room. It's just like one of those things, it's like you don't really see him. It's like wasn't the same bubbly old self that he normally is. Well, at the time it was just me and him living in our flat together. So we would see a lot of each other, but when you didn't really see him around the house and stuff like that, it was like, right, we need to do something here. So what we did is there's these mosaics around Southampton. It's got little like different characters and stuff like that, and we just go outside, go for a walk, and kind of have like almost like a mini podcast kind of chat and just chat about lives. And yeah, we just talked about stuff, what was going on now, and like where we wanted to be, and like how we would get there. And I think like it kind of gave like the foundations for not just him, for me as well, of kind of setting out plans and how we crack on with each other.
I think the biggest thing that you notice with sort of improving the mental health is probably the camaraderie of it all, because you've got people who are sort of like-minded, you know, similar age to you, same sort of common interests. That's probably the biggest thing that you notice. In terms of exercise, like, you don't notice it as much because you're just doing it and it sort of just comes natural, but exercise is obviously a big thing as well, yeah. Coping mechanisms that I definitely recognise that I have with rugby, obviously having that sort of structure. So, you know, you've got that Wednesday game and you're training on the Monday and Friday. That was something big at uni that sort of helped with my mental health. Obviously now that I'm not playing as much and only playing for the sort of charity team, that's something that's a bit difficult. But I think just having a structure and sort of knowing what you're doing next is something that I definitely use to help cope. And you know, when you just have that really solid group of friends that can help you through everything, I think you're unbeatable, really.
So I'm Dewar, I'm 23 years old, and I first started playing rugby when I was about 6-ish. Played all the way up through school and for club, and then when I was 16 I had a bad shoulder injury. Never quite let it heal, had this summer off, went back to rugby, and then when I was 17 I was playing school games every week. On a Saturday I was playing first team for my club, and then Sunday I was playing age group rugby. So that just really took a toll on my body basically. Came down to uni where I thought I'd shrug off the shoulder injury really, and then just kept deteriorating from there to the point where my right shoulder went as well, which was a bit of a killer really. And then went to see the doctor after my first year, a really good first year, and then he told me I couldn't play rugby anymore essentially. Just out of rugby now. Well, the final game, yeah, I knew both my shoulders had gone at that point, so I thought it's about time I get them checked out. Saw the surgeon that summer, had x-rays and everything like that, and then about a month before I was meant to start uni second year, was meant to be first team captain as well at Solent, and then just told me I couldn't play anymore essentially. Needed both shoulders with surgery on them. I wouldn't really be able to live life normally past the age of 30 really. What he told me is if I had kids, I wouldn't be able to hold them above my head when I'm 30ish, so I thought I'd step away from it. After I found out I wasn't going to play rugby again, yeah, my mental health did plummet a little bit. Had a few dark times, mostly because I was quite good at rugby, so I felt valued whenever I was playing really. So when that got taken away from me, it was like maybe the guys at rugby club wouldn't like me, because I thought maybe it was just because of the rugby side of it. So yeah, I didn't feel like I really fit in that group anymore, if that makes sense. Which I know it's just me probably being paranoid, but that's just the way your mind works, isn't it? Yeah, it was the community I really missed, because obviously it's what you do on a Saturday or something, you go to the rugby club and have a good time. Exercise, obviously, if you're not exercising, you're never going to feel as good as you were. But yeah, the larger side of it was the community, where every Saturday I was active, going to the club and being part of this big thing. And now I stopped going up there. Didn't really go out of that group of mates, obviously, which is never good if you're not spending time with your mates, is it? So probably set me into a bit of a spiral, really. Well, so for the first year or so, people were inviting me up the club to help out and stuff, and I wasn't really keen for it. I didn't really go up there just because I thought, yeah, I didn't really know where I stood with them, if they only valued me for the rugby side of it, really. And then the next season started, and they just kept inviting me up there to help with coaching or subs or whatever like that. And then obviously went up there, was quite anxious going up there for the first time again, obviously. Everyone accepted me as they would at a rugby club, really. And then, yeah, just got back and swing it that way. So now I can go up there happily without feeling anxious, and still got all my old mates that I used to see all the time. It was more, yeah, feeling valued again, so I can help out in some way, shape or form. Even the social side of that, if you're there just bringing good energy and have a bit of fun, the boys there will love it. So yeah, I think mostly what affected me was not feeling valued, really. So when I felt valued again, that was good. That helped me out a lot, yeah.
After hearing from these two grassroots rugby players, I asked the question, do you think rugby helps your mental health?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
100%. Oh, definitely, absolutely.
Of course it is.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely. Yes, definitely. It's the community, it's the game, it's the fitness combined with the camaraderie that I think is just absolutely brilliant for me.
Gets you outside, gets you in a group of lads, which is always good.
As a fresher, I'm kind of stuck in my room, can't really do much. So good to have an outlet with a nice set of boys.
Just makes you feel like you're part of something.
So I think having that support around you is always good for your mental health and for your physical well-being. So yeah, I definitely think rugby is good for your mental health. Even if you have a bad uni life, you've got rugby.
You just take your mind off sort of problems in your life, work, uni, everything else. Yeah, I'd say it definitely is a good thing.
I certainly know from experience that seeing my mates playing a sport that I love has really helped me out.
It allows you to get outside and be active and release a lot of built-up tension and anger in a positive way.
There's a real sense of community within the boys, and it might seem all a bit scary at first to people on the outside, but people who are in there, it's a really good group of lads who will care for each other and they'll always be there for you.
So for me personally, it's having those people I can always speak to that I know will listen and that won't judge me.
Being able to share like brilliant moments off and on the pitch with your teammates is just, you can't beat it.